Okay, guys. So today we're just going to learn how to, actually two methods. The first one is what to do when the leading coefficient is negative. We're just going to factor out that negative. And so here you can see I went from this expression to this expression. Now, what do I multiply to get positive 2 that I add to get negative 3? Negative 2 and negative 1. So the completely factored form of that expression becomes the opposite of g minus 2 times g minus 1.
Would you then have to do like g plus 2 g minus 1 if there's a negative on the outside?
Okay, if I'm going to distribute this, I can only distribute it through one set of parentheses.
So,
like negative 1 times 2 times 5 is not negative 1 times 2 and negative 1 times 5. We do not distribute through multiplication.
but you wouldn't have to distribute.
So if you don't know, you wouldn't. See
Okay.
how I box that? That's my answer.
All right.
Could you write your answer like this, where you distribute through the first one? Yeah, that's just ugly. And usually it would be written like this. But I like this one.
All right.
I'm most happy right here. Number 2. Let's say we had negative 9n squared plus 18n minus 8. So my leading coefficient is negative. I'm going to factor out that negative and then see what I can do with what's left. So I factor out the negative, so it becomes positive 9n squared minus 18n plus 8.
Wait, I don't. Why is there still a negative out there for you?
I just factored it out. I can't change the expression. I can't make
okay.
this go from being a value of negative n squared to positive n squared.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so this is perfect square, but 8 is not. So we got to try trial and error. All right, we know it's minus and minus because we're multiplying to get a positive, we're adding to get a negative. But we don't know anything else because 9 can be 1 and 9 or 3 and 3, and 8 can be 1 and 8 or 2 and 4. So we got to play around. You think it's 3 and 3? And 2 and 4?
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't matter. You're right. It could. The 2 and the 4 could go either place this time.
Is that right?
Jordan is absolutely correct.
Great job.
Good job, Jordan!
Very nice.
But 12 minus isn't the opposite of the answer.
It's opposite of, we could change the signs in one of these if we wanted to, just like I showed you up here, but you can just leave the negative factored out in front. Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be,
Sorry.
so you said like up there you would change it to 2 minus g, why wouldn't you change it? Oh, it's not negative 3. Never mind.
But 6n minus 12n isn't.
A negative 12n and a negative 6n is negative 18n.
I saw a thing where like you multiply the first.
I'm going to show you that today.
Can you do either way though?
You can, except for that quiz where I only allow you to do trial and error. I'm not going to tell you which method you have to do on your quiz Monday. You just have to be able to finish.
So
Okay.
trial and error is kind of like a backup. It always works, but it's like a long time.
For me, it's always the faster method.
Really?
Yes, because for me, I like numbers.
I do it on
And so it's like a little puzzle.
Happy day.
And the more I do, the better I get.
Oh yeah, like I was doing it last night, and how you make the shading,
Actually, I don't
like
remember
for
everything.
Sudoku, where you put it in the like top right hand corner. I did that,
My mom.
so it's just like it could like come.
Alright, so here we get y squared plus 1. Ooh, perfect square, perfect square. Do I keep factoring?
Yes.
No.
No.
Dang it.
Why is it no?
Some, right?
Because this is a sum of squares. Can we factor a sum of squares?
Of
No,
course.
you're right. Nice, Aaron. We can only factor a difference of squares. So this is done. But what if this had been plus? Then this would be minus,
And then
and then you can factor. Nice. Okay, you try number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I came up with
Rip part of that paper off.
a nice one for you guys.
Oh.
Matt, you rude.
Can we pass?
Idiot.
There you go.
Wow, that's really
Oh
nice.
my
That's
gosh.
Olivia.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for the
You're
kind
welcome.
I gotta
That's
probably
no
assume
good.
it.
Get Halloween. This is already scary as it is.
This is Halloween.
X to 9.
I'm gonna guess that I chose 4.
It has
3 and 3, right? No, that's not right. 5 and 4.
No, you have to GCM.
The stories you tell.
No bad.
Oh my gosh!
I don't like trying. It looks way too hard.
Kyle, try it and then you can correct your mistakes.
That's not.
When you try it and you get it right, you'll feel lots of
I know.
Right?
But
good feelings on these.
Makes it so much easier.
4X.
This is like a foreign language.
7.
It's a beautiful language.
It's foreign.
Like Spanish?
It's, you don't even have to know a language to be able to interpret it.
6X.
People have to teach it to you. And you can't be taught if you don't know how to listen.
Okay, did you guys get negative 4X through
Negative 4x to the 7th is your GCF. Good.
But then you have to.
Then you have to keep working. Yep. Alright, keep working then.
Okay. I think I'm trying to do it from here.
I think I'm good. I don't know if I'm good. I just think someone
Oh yeah, now I see. Alright, just take it slow.
so I really hate this one.
Four,
Whoa.
then you got negative 4.
Oh, you factored that even more?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Teach me your ways.
I got it. Mine is plus.
I love my job.
So when you
Negative reasons.
Alright, I figure I got it.
Kyle, you didn't get it, trust me.
Did you factor out your negative? See, this is why I don't skip the stuff. I skip the stuff. So. Here you go.
Okay,
This one's the
check
right
yourself. Did you get that? And it does factor further.
I got that. I got that.
Okay, keep going.
I got that,
You
but-
good?
And then it's
I don't know.
5X.
So now I factor
I will kill
really
you.
surprised.
Yeah,
I
I
just started the
did.
problem.
Right.
I'm glad you got it.
Oh, I thought you were
So you
going
see
to.
how
I know.
Yes! I got it!
Keep working. This factors more.
And that's 5.
Never mind, I don't get it.
I got the final.
Minus
I'm done.
6.
plus.
6 minus
Do you
8.
need me to send you a student helper?
What's that mean?
Somebody
I can
that
help
does understand how to do it?
Your pencil
And they can
refuses
help
to let you write it.
Can you do
anymore.
that to me
So
too?
keep on going.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
got
Okay, so
Hey, Matthew, you want to teach me?
here you go.
He's already close enough to me.
It's plus 1.
You want Luke to help
You
you?
Luke, what do you want me?
Oh.
Well, you just, is this
Oh,
right?
it's
Sweet.
No.
So you got that?
I can get you that.
Okay, well, I know what to do. Abe, stop this. I'm gonna blast my lyrics and everything.
Oh, no.
No, it's like, no, Aaron, you're too useless.
Okay, 5 after 5 at
That's
Go with
5 times negative 4 is
it.
Does it have to be a negative here?
All factors.
It could be positive or
I got
negative.
I need to write that down.
What are the factors of 5, 1, 5?
5 times 4 is 5 times 4 is 6.
4x is 7.
I got it. I think 5 times 2 is 10, so 5 minus 2. X times. Easy peasy. Or you could do x plus 2 times 5x minus 2 times negative 4.
Got it?
Yes. Negative 4x is 7. So 5x minus 4 is x plus 2.
What do you do? Outside times outside.
Good job.
So negative 4x times 10x.
The good thing about having a tutor.
Good.
Plus. I gotta go ahead of
Alright.
Wait, what time? What is equal to negative? Okay. Alright, I see.
I already did my sign yesterday. So.
Alright, so
I like those.
we're trying trial and error here, and it's nice because our
Takes forever.
leading coefficient here is prime. When it's prime, it makes life so much easier.
Very much.
The only way to see an 8 are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. So if I put a 2 here, that gives me a positive 10, a and a negative 4 here. 10 minus 4 is 6. I'm done.
I got that visual.
Awesome.
Really?
Awesome. That's cool. I'm glad you have a student helper. Okay, now.
Wait, does it matter the order?
This.
Oh wait, I have that right order. Never mind.
The signs matter. Like if you had x plus 2 in front of 5x minus 4, that's fine.
Okay, that's
You
what.
can move the entire parentheses, but you can't move around the numbers within them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hey Matt, what was that? I'm so stupid.
You're lucky
Did
to
you
know I
say?
never said that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
Okay. So today I'm going to teach you the final method, which I call term splitting. You can call it factor by grouping. And this is really the way I like to think of it as the long way to do it.
Yay.
Okay, the only nice thing about the long way is it always works. And so if your brain is failing you on trial and error, then the long way will work.
I like long revision.
So let's talk about how we do this, and then we'll talk about why it works. Okay, to do term splitting, what we're going to try to do is split this middle term into 2 equivalent.
5.5.
Okay? Now, you can't split it perfectly. We have a methodology to follow.
2 and 3.
So, what we do is we take the leading coefficient and we multiply it times our constant, which is 24x squared. What can I multiply to get positive 24x squared that I could add to get a negative 11x? Negative 8x and negative 3x. Okay, so what we did, once again, we took the leading coefficient and multiplied it times the constant. And you may not always write the 24x squared, you may just write 24. What can I multiply to get a positive 24 that I can add to get a negative 11? Negative 8 and negative 3. So what we did was we split that middle term. Do you see why they might call it term splitting? It was one middle term, now we split it into 2.
Why don't we do that all?
Okay, now let's talk about why we did that. If we can look at this as 2 different groups,
So you.
is there a GCF for the first group?
Yes.
What is it?
4.
4 and
X.
X.
Well,
And we factor that out. And when we factor out the 4x, what does it leave us with in this first group? Okay, so our goal is to be left with exactly the same thing when we factor something out of the second group. We still want an x minus 2. What can I factor out of this second group? Negative 3. Now, in terms of factoring, do you guys see, we have 2 terms written right now. Do you see that both of these terms have an x minus 2 in common?
So it's negative 7x.
So I can pull out the x minus 2 because that's the GCF of these 2 terms. And when I pull out the GCF, what am I left with? 4x minus 3. And it's factored.
No, that's so much quicker.
That is way quicker.
And so much more understandable and so much easier.
Okay,
It's
so
like math, you know?
So you don't have to do trial and error.
Like works.
The problem with this for me is most of us sitting in an accelerated class are good at math.
Yeah. I used to think
Most,
that.
I said
Most.
most.
Okay, good.
Some of you are just good students and you work really hard. Most of us are good at math. So the trial and error method, you will get very quick at doing, and it'll be like a little puzzle that's so easy to solve.
Yeah.
And if I didn't teach that and went straight to this, we would always do it a longer way. If trial and error was good for you, please always use it.
Yeah, it was better.
When trial and error fails for you, when you can't look at it and figure it out, then use this method. This method will always work if your expression is factorable. Let's do 2 more. I'm going to do 1 more example with you, and then I'll give you 1 to do.
We have 2 minutes.
Man, I wanted more than 2 minutes.
Wait, it might be a little longer because the bell schedule.
Right. We won't be released until the bell.
You don't know when I've been told by my teacher. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, they said it all day.
Yeah, Chris is right. So don't give him,
Right.
you know, for.
Kai. You're being
God. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to say.
All right, GCF. 4 and X. Okay, so we always do GCF first. And I chose this one so that no matter what happens, we always do GCF first. Okay, so we know that when we come down here to our answer, 4x is one of our factors. Are we good with that? All right, now let's factor this. And we're going to do it the newer, longer way, term splitting. Multiply these two. 6 times 6 is 36. What can I multiply to get a positive 36 that I add to get 13? Good. 9 and 4.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What do the first pair have in common?
A 3.
And a x. So that leaves me with what?
X.
2x.
2x plus 3. So what do I want when I factor this second group? The same thing.
So it's 2.
So what do I have to take out?
2.
A positive 2. Stop here for a second, even though the bell's about to catch us. We gotta let everybody catch up.
On this one, the other way made more sense.
Yeah.
So, they have the 2x plus 3 in common. So it comes out, and what is left? 3x plus 2. So I group it. So my final answer is that 4x that I took out way at the beginning times 2x plus 3 times 3x plus 2. Now, somebody just said that trial and error would have been easier. I agree. I almost never would I choose this method. But numbers make sense to me.
Wait,
Okay, your homework is out of the textbook today. I did. I actually did.
It is.
So, Jordan, I appreciate you showing me
I really did.
of my error yesterday. Again.
Trial and error.
Yes, Matthew.